Assalamu Alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to Deen Xplorers. Today we're diving into an incredibly important topic for every believer: 5 signs Allah is telling you to walk away immediately. Life presents many situations that can challenge our faith, emotions, and physical well-being. Sometimes it isn't easy knowing when to persist and when to walk away. But Allah provides us with signs through the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. These signs can help guide us to make the right decisions. In this video, we'll explore 5 key signs from the Quran and Hadith that show when Allah is telling us to leave certain situations for our safety, health, and Iman, faith. These examples are timeless and relevant to the past and the modern world. Before we dive into today's enlightening topic, I kindly ask you to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us share valuable insights with more people. May Allah guide us all. Sign 1. When you are forced to compromise your faith. A fundamental sign that Allah is telling you to walk away is when a situation forces you to compromise your Iman, faith. As Muslims, our relationship with Allah should always come first. When a situation or environment pushes us away from that connection, we must consider whether we need to step back. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Leave what makes you in doubt for what does not make you in doubt. The truth brings tranquility while falsehood sows doubt." This hadith teaches us to avoid situations that cause doubt, particularly concerning matters of faith. If you're constantly second-guessing your actions or feeling like you're straying from the path of Islam, that's a clear sign from Allah that it's time to walk away. In the early days of Islam, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his followers faced severe persecution in Makkah. The Quraysh, who were the ruling tribe in Makkah, opposed the spread of Islam and did everything they could to stop it, including torture, boycotts, and harassment. Despite their efforts to remain steadfast, the Muslims found it increasingly difficult to practice their faith openly. Allah sent them a clear sign to walk away when He instructed the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his companions to migrate to Medina, a city where they could practice Islam freely and without fear. This event, known as the Hijrah, marks a turning point in Islamic history. It shows us that when our faith is in danger, walking away from toxic environments can lead to greater blessings and freedom. This could apply to any situation where your faith is compromised in today's context. Perhaps it's a job that demands unethical behavior, a relationship that distances you from your religious obligations, or a group of friends who constantly encourage haram activities. If something or someone is pushing you away from Allah, it's time to reevaluate and, if necessary, walk away for the sake of your deen. And, O witnesses, keep your testimony upright for the sake of Allah. That is what anyone who believes in Allah and the last day is exhorted to do. Whoever fears Allah, He brings forth a way out for him. When you prioritize your faith and fear Allah, He promises to make a way out of difficult situations. Trusting in this promise can give you the courage to leave environments that harm your relationship with Him. Sign 2. When you are surrounded by injustice and oppression. Islam strongly condemns injustice and oppression in any form. If you find yourself in a situation where there is continuous injustice, whether it's directed at you or others, this could be a clear sign that Allah is telling you to walk away. Staying in an environment filled with oppression not only harms your soul, but also goes against the teachings of Islam. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Oppression will be a darkness on the day of resurrection." This hadith highlights the severe consequences of oppression. Whether we are the victims of oppression or bystanders in an unjust situation, Islam encourages us to stand against it. If you cannot change the injustice, walking away is often the best option to protect yourself and your faith. An extraordinary example is in the story of Prophet Musa. Pharaoh enslaved the children of Israel and his people in Egypt and subjected them to extreme oppression, torture, and degradation. Despite their calls for justice, Pharaoh's tyranny only grew stronger. Allah sent Prophet Musa to guide his people and demand their freedom. However, Pharaoh refused to listen and continued his brutal reign. Eventually, Allah commanded Prophet Musa to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, walking away from a land of tyranny to seek refuge in Allah's mercy. This momentous event, known as the Exodus, is celebrated in both Islamic and biblical history as a time when oppressed people walked away from their oppressors with Allah's guidance. In today's world, oppression can take many forms, such as systemic racism, workplace abuse, or family violence. As Muslims, we must stand against injustice, but when it becomes clear that change is impossible, or that we are powerless in such situations, Allah may be guiding us to leave. Walking away from an environment of injustice is a step towards spiritual and emotional healing. O you who believe, be upholders of justice, witnesses for Allah, even though against the interest of yourselves or the parents and the kinsmen. One may be rich or poor, Allah is better caretaker of both. So do not follow desires, lest you should swerve. If you twist or avoid the evidence, then Allah is all aware of what you do. Islam teaches us to uphold justice, even if it's difficult. Walking away may be the only righteous path when we find ourselves in unjust situations that we cannot change. Sign 3. When you are surrounded by sin and corruption. If you find yourself in an environment where sin and corruption are normalized, this is a strong sign that Allah may be guiding you to walk away. Being surrounded by constant sin can weaken your Iman and make it difficult to hold on to Islamic principles. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The example of a good companion who sits with you in comparison with a bad one is like that of the musk seller in the blacksmith's bellows or furnace. From the first you would either buy musk or enjoy its good smell, while the bellows would either burn your clothes or your house, or you get a bad, nasty smell thereof." This hadith illustrates the importance of the company we keep. Good companions will uplift and inspire us, while bad companions will drag us into harm. If you find yourself in an environment where sin is rampant, it's likely a sign that Allah is urging you to walk away. One of the most well-known examples from Islamic history is the story of Prophet Lut and the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. The people of these cities were involved in numerous sinful practices, including theft, immorality, and injustice. Despite Prophet Lut's repeated warnings, they refused to change their ways. Finally, Allah instructed Prophet Lut to leave the city with his family, as he was going to punish the inhabitants for their continuous disobedience. Prophet Lut followed Allah's command and walked away from the corrupted land, saving himself and his family from the destruction that soon followed. This story serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes walking away from sinful environments is the only way to protect ourselves from the consequences of disobedience. In today's world, sin and corruption may manifest in environments where haram activities such as gambling, drinking, or illicit relationships are prevalent. Whether in social settings, workplaces, or even certain friendships, It's crucial to recognize when an environment is pulling you away from the path of Allah. Walking away from such environments is essential to preserving your Iman and staying connected to your faith. Avoid those who have taken their faith as fun and games. The worldly life has deceived them. Preach with it the Quran, lest one should be seized for what he did, in a way that he should have neither a helper besides Allah, nor an intercessor, should he offer every sort of ransom. It will not be accepted from him. Those are the ones who are seized for what they themselves earned. For them there is a drink of boiling water and a painful punishment because they used to disbelieve. This verse reminds us that we must distance ourselves from those who treat Islam lightly and are consumed by worldly desires. Sign 4. When a relationship or situation is toxic and damaging. Allah may be telling you to walk away when you are involved in a toxic or damaging relationship. Islam emphasizes the importance of mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. If a relationship is causing harm to your health or faith, this is a clear sign that it's time to leave. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "A believer is not stung twice by something out of one and the same hole." This hadith teaches us to learn from our mistakes. If a person or situation repeatedly hurts you, it's a sign that you should walk away. Staying in a toxic environment can damage your emotional and spiritual well-being, and Islam encourages us to seek out healthy, nurturing relationships. The story of Prophet Ibrahim is a profound example of walking away from toxic environments. Prophet Ibrahim lived in a society where idol worship was the norm. Despite his efforts to guide his father and people to the worship of Allah, they rejected his message and continued their sinful ways. His father threatened him and rejected his calls to righteousness. Allah commanded Prophet Ibrahim to walk away from his family and his people, leaving behind the toxic environment to follow the path of truth. Though it was a painful decision, walking away allowed Prophet Ibrahim to grow closer to Allah and become a great monotheistic leader. His story teaches us that sometimes, even when difficult, walking away is necessary for our spiritual growth. In today's world, toxic relationships can take many forms, including abusive marriages, manipulative friendships, or unhealthy work environments. If you find that you are constantly being drained emotionally or spiritually by a person or situation, it's time to walk away and seek healthier, more supportive surroundings. We have instructed man to do good to his parents, and if they insist upon you that you should ascribe partners to me, then do not obey them. To me is your return, then I shall tell you what you used to do. Even in close relationships, such as with family, if someone is leading you away from Allah, you must walk away to preserve your faith. Sign 5. When your inner peace is disturbed continuously. Sometimes, Allah sends us signs through the state of our hearts. If you find that your inner peace is constantly disturbed in a situation, this could be a clear indication that it's time to walk away. Feeling uneasy, anxious, or unsettled for a prolonged period is often a sign that something is not right for your soul. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Righteousness is good behavior, and sin is what fluctuates in your chest, and you would hate that the people discovered it about you." When something causes unrest in your heart, it's important to pay attention. If your heart feels heavy in a situation, perhaps Allah is guiding you to walk away for your own emotional and spiritual well-being. In the modern world, we often face choices that may seem good on the surface but cause inner turmoil. Whether it's a job, relationship, or environment that disturbs your inner peace, take it as a sign to seek better opportunities that align with your faith and well-being. Say, nothing can ever reach us except what Allah has destined for us. He is our master, and in Allah alone the believers must place their trust. When your heart is restless, trust in Allah's wisdom to guide you to something better. Thanks for watching. This video has given you valuable insights into the signs Allah may send you to avoid harmful situations. Remember, walking away doesn't mean failure, it means trusting Allah's wisdom and guidance. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Deen Xplorers for more enlightening Islamic content. May Allah guide us all and protect us from harm. Assalamu Alaikum.